Hey, fiber friends! I'm back! It has been a couple of minutes. I think I've forgotten how to do this. I've been fiddling around with my camera for the last 5 minutes and decided to go without the ring light because I can't, like, not have, like, no matter what I do with the angle, with the height of the tripod, I'm getting those goofy rings in my glasses, and I cannot abide. So I feel like this lighting is fine. I got rid of some of the backlighting, although it's such a pretty day outside and it's nice green trees in the background, but a little too much backlighting. So here we are. Wow. I haven't been doing this for a while, have I? So it's been so long that my hair is getting kind of shaggy, and I went back to figure out so that I could say when I last tried to record an episode. And I'm calling that the lost Stashdown episode because I'm never going to publish it. Went on for, the typical little over an hour or so. And I knew by the end that I was just like, I jumped the shark with this, big time. And I just never even really went back and watched it. And I looked at, like, where was I? It was like March 7th when I recorded it. So a little while ago. And my hair was still super short, and that sealed the deal. I have a hair appointment on Monday. I have been attempting to grow it into some sort of a mid-length shag. And this isn't bad, but I'll show you the situation without the clip. It's a weird, awkward phase that right here, right now, isn't killing me. But what's happening right here is I don't know. Like, it's not so bad right now because I've just had it up in a clip for a little bit. But if, like, when I wash it and just put in some, like, curl enhancer and let it air dry like I do, because I'm not really high maintenance with the hairstyle, which is another reason why I'm thinking, why would I want to go to a hairstyle that's gonna take 30 to 45 minutes to get right with hot tools and stuff when, like, 95% of the days I'm just not going to have the time or patience to do that. But what's happening lately here, is, for some reason, especially right here, is it's like a perm. Like it's like a poodle top knot off the side of my head. And you guys, I have had straight hair. I had straight hair my whole life. I mean, when it was shorter, it would have, some wave and a little bit of a curl to it. I don't even know. I don't care. But when it was longer, those of you who know me, it would just, like, I could get, like, maybe a cool, like, a nice natural wave in it with some product and scrunch it a little bit. And then, particularly in the summer when it was humid, it would just, like, look stringy and not great. It looked much better if I took the time to straighten it out, or most of the time I would just pull it back and I could literally tie it in a knot and keep it on my head in a bun. And then I would just have this very severe, like, pulled back, matronly looking bun that was just not okay. And I enjoyed having long hair again for the time period that I had it. I did grow it way back. I hadn't had super long hair like that in years and years. And then I just kind of got tired of it. And I really felt like I needed some rebel hair, and I went short again. And I helped me get Rizzo, although I didn't do that on purpose. I was already intending to do that. I thought maybe I'd grow the gray out. That's not a thing. There's not enough there to make a difference, so we're just going to keep coloring it. But since I've started to grow it back out again this spring, I mean, it got wavier also. Like, even when it was longer, the curl that I had in it after I had kids was, like, new to me because it had been straight. Whenever I had long hair before, it was curly because I'd always get permanents, like back in the late 80s and early 90s, like when we would do that sort of thing. But that was never natural curl. It was always left to its own devices. It was straight, like my daughter Emma's. Go back to, like, episode 2 or whatever it was that she was here talking about her Pokemon. She's got very, very straight hair, and she has a ton of it. Both of my kids have like 2 people's worth of hair on their heads. It's maddening. But her hair is bored straight. That's how mine used to be. I had kids, my hair got curlier, my feet got bigger, like it was a whole biological experiment. And menopause is like, says, hey, pregnancy, hold my beer. And I have like this afro on the side of my head, and it's like serious poodle curl. It's shocking, and it's not helping things at all. So this is what's happening. And the one thing that I can say about going back and watching like the first 10 minutes of that video that I recorded back in March is that Monday next week, I'm going back to shore. That's a sealed deal. I was like, I was just getting bored with it. I was just like, I don't know. I mean, this is fine. I used to love it like this. I just decided to grow it back out again back during the pandemic, like people were doing. And yeah, it was long for a while. That's great and everything, but also these are going away. I have new glasses ordered because these are driving me bonkers. So there's a new look coming. Well, this is new since the last time you guys saw me in January, I think was the last time I posted, or maybe February. And I know these glasses were on the last few videos, but they're seriously driving me bonkers. And I get compliments on them wherever I go. And I'm just always like, thanks. I hate them because I constantly feel like I'm looking through glasses that I'm like eating fries and then like doing this to my glasses. They're dirty all the time. I don't know if it's because they're so big. I do not feel like my eyebrows touch them, but there's always a smudge, like 10 minutes or 15 minutes after I start wearing them. I swear the smudge starts right here. That's gotta be eyebrow smudge. I'm looking at you right now. My eyebrows are not touching my glasses. I do not know how. The gunk from my face jumps off of my face. It hits my glasses and I can't see out of them half the time. And I also don't like this kind of a nose piece. Go away. I want my molded plastic nose pieces again. So there's another pair of glasses coming. So next time I film, I should have new glasses and maybe back to my old pair. Yeah, and I'm saying this, I'm like, I hate today. And it's just up in a clip. I'm sweaty. It's so hot in this room. I'm trying to talk loudly because I have the fan going. Because now I have like a sort of a limp spin on the ceiling fan, but I came in here and was like, my God, I forgot how hot it gets. This is the hottest. We're in a heat wave right now. We're getting like the heat things coming over on the phone, like from the heat advisory stuff. It is, the heat and humidity are a beast out there today. It's been like this beautiful temperature for like a week. And when it wasn't raining, just absolutely pleasant temperature-wise outside. And I walked out, I went to an appointment this afternoon, and when I came back out, I was just like hit in the face with just like like a beast of humidity. It's like this weird fat humidity or something. I don't know how to describe it. It doesn't, like, it didn't walk out and wasn't like immediately like Florida hot where you're just like, the sun is burning. It was just like getting sat on in the face by like Jabba the Hutt, like just the humidity. And so of course I come up here to the fiber studio that in a couple of weeks is going to serve with our new cabinet Murphy bed that is in here as a guest room. And I'm looking at the ceiling fan. Let me see if I can get this. Ceiling fan is doing this. And that's because I took a sock blocker because it was one of the only things that I had up here that was where I could reach the fan blade, and I spun the fan to get it to spin. I can feel in the cord that the motor is like it was working last week when I blocked a t-shirt that I'm going to show you. And of course it's just like limping around. Like I'm going to have a guest in here in a couple weeks. And if it's this hot, we did buy a like portable AC unit that we're gonna have to. We haven't even unboxed it yet. It's still in the garage because it's ungodly heavy, and we have to carry it upstairs and up to the second floor from the basement. You know, and that's not. We've just been putting it off because it's been nice. We haven't needed it, and we got it specifically. Well, we got it for like most of the time. It may actually even be in the attic, to just kind of keep that cooled, even though, you know, we have the insulation. I don't even want to go up there today just to like see how hot it is, because I bet it's ungodly, even with it being completely insulated up there. So just to kind of keep things that are up there from getting like temperature fluctuations being crazy, because I would like to put my costume closet up there at some point and not have temperatures going here, there, and everywhere, in the summer in particular. But also to have it to move down here when we have guests on this floor and it gets beastly in the summertime. So yeah, hopefully that helps, but everybody's gonna have to have their doors open. And deal with that. We might have to get a couple other box fans or something to put in the doorways. I don't know, but my God, it is just not the time for that fan to just decide it's gonna take a crap. Thanks. Anyway, I missed you guys. I hope you missed me too, and we're, you know, wondering where the heck the next video was coming from. I really feel like, unless there's I say something just like grossly wrong, or any of the things that I share with you, I space out on like the yarn or the whatever, which is going to happen. Yeah, I might put it down in the show notes, which would be the easier thing, but that might be the only thing I come in and do, and like maybe edit just to say it's this or whatever, like next to my head, because that's a lot of fun, but it takes a lot of time, and it's one of the reasons why I didn't get that last video out. Although it was just a lot of, like, watching the first few minutes, I was like, this wasn't so bad, but I know that I remember that by the end I was just like, so. And it was just more of the same, like, I got this, and I got this, and I got this. And I'm not going to do that, because let me just tell you, between the last episode, where I don't even remember what I showed you that I got, but like episode for episode, it's supposed to be Stashdown, and it's just constantly me showing you all the things that I keep buying. I just finished phase 1 of a reorganization in this room, because I have to get it ready for it being a guest room. And I also want to repurpose some of the space in terms of some of the storage that's here. I don't even know what's in some of the stuff that got moved here when we moved last year, and I haven't even really been through it since we moved, so some of it can probably be donated, or maybe find things in there that I've been looking for the last year or two, and be very happy to be reunited with whatever that thing is. But I had accumulated so much since a year ago when we moved in here, and I organized all the bins that had been organized at the other house, and everything fit and whatever, that I decided I was going to need to like move some of the stuff. Actually, I moved all of my old jewelry stuff and all of those art bins that they were in up to the attic, because I don't know when that's past me, but I'm not ready to let it go yet, because I know there's a lot of good stuff in there, just to make space for more bins. And so I got more of the same felt bins from Target that I had from before, and now I've filled an entire other shelving unit that used to just have it was full of stuff, and some of it was yarn, but I took stuff out of the plastic covered bins that came over from the other house. A lot of that was stuff I got at Rhinebeck 2 years ago, more other stuff since then, and just now all of it is those gray felt bins. And I filled 5 shelves with either the big bins or the smaller bins, with all of the stuff I purchased in the last year. I organized them and put project, like sweater quantities for a certain sweater. I wrote it down, because it's to the point where I'm like, I was there were a couple things where I pulled the thing out and I was like, why do I have 6 or 7 skeins of this Farmer's Daughter fiber yarn of the same color that's just a color? What's this for? I don't know. You know, and that's not okay. So, but it's organized, and all of the subscription sock yarns and stuff that I've been accumulating, I'll have a bin, and yeah. So at least things are organized now, and I'm going to start moving through those projects. I do have another extracurricular update that we'll talk about, but I thought I would show you some progress of some things I've done. I have one absolute FO that I've actually worn, and I posted it if you guys have seen it on Instagram. That would be Bellino Tee number 2. I love it. I love this yarn. This is a cotton linen blend, and I'm very confused. I think the company is Katia, Katja, and I think the yarn base is Concept, and I think that the self-striping colorway of this yarn base is Bellino. And the pattern is one that kind of accompanies the yarn. The model is wearing the rainbow one that I already have, that I did a year ago. She's wearing the t-shirt made of that colorway. And it's the Bellino Tee and it's on Ravelry. I got it in a little pamphlet that I got at Spry Whimsy when I bought the yarn. It takes 2 balls of the yarn for just about any size, for most of the sizes. And I have well over 1 skein of yarn left after this one. I can't remember, the yarn from the first one's around somewhere, the leftover yarn. I thought I used more than that for the first one. This looks like it came out about the same size. Might be slightly wider, but it fits about the same. It has a decent amount of ease. So when I bought this yarn, because a bunch of people were doing it, a couple of my friends were doing it with the rainbow, and I was like, oh, I gotta have that. And I'm happy. I'm like, I forgot, like, I knew I loved the pattern and the yarn and watching the colors change and all that stuff. I forgot how much it's just really easy. Other than the eyelet raglan, it's very quick and it's easy. It's light. The yarn isn't hot on your hands if you wanted to do something like that in the summertime. And it's just really fun and motivating to watch the stripes come out of the ball. So I'm gonna make another one. And I remember when I did it, I thought I'm gonna get some more, because I liked it right away when I made it the first time, and before I was even finished with it the first time, I wanted to get some more of the yarn. Not knowing that it was actually, from what I can tell, a limited. Did I have teeth? Okay, good. I thought I had lipstick on my teeth. Oh my god. I didn't realize at the time that it was like a limited thing, like a special, like, get it now, because they're not going to continue to always have this kind of self-striping colorway. But apparently, when I go to the site, it's not one of their yarns anymore. They have listed. They have Concept, which I think that's just the linen cotton base. It's all very confusing, but I don't think they have this self-striping colorway anymore. These self-striping colorways anymore. And so I thought that I had bought another 2 balls of the rainbow. Now, looking at these balls, don't have a ball like that, but it's one of the like you don't have to wind it. It's in a ball, and it has like the ball band, and it's like a little like squatty ball, like that kind of. That's how it comes. And here's my leftover yarn for this one. I have all of this, and then I color manage. So actually, some of this. Oh no, this is still. I did color manage, but this is some yarn barf. This is even, if yarn barf, cotton linen yarn barf is really, really no fun to deal with. So that's just out there. Yeah, I thought I bought another 2 balls of the rainbow, and it's all like numbers. It's like 501, 502, 504, something like that. And I thought I got 2 more that were the rainbow. It's hard to look, but what I was going to show you is that, like, you can't tell that all of these colors come out. And it's hard to even, like, get in there and be like, what's going on? What's coming in here? It's so even with the rainbow, that changes much more frequently, has many more different colors. This one's kind of just oranges and, you know, yellows and a green and a pinkish red. But have, you know, like Roy G. Biv, was even hard to, like, kind of get in there and trust that it was going to be rainbow, but it was. So I remember that. But it was like a different number. The colorway was a different number than this one, obviously, because I got this one thinking, oh, it looks like sunset colors. I'm going to get this. And I thought I bought the other with the intention of making one for Emma down the road. I don't think that the 2 balls I have left, I think they're different. They're definitely different from this, and I don't think they're rainbow. They might be like a variation of a muted rainbow, but I don't think they're like straight up Roy G. Biv rainbow self-striping. And that is relevant to the next story I'm going to tell you, which is I decided that my mom always liked stuff that was rainbow. Now, maybe not so much anymore, unfortunately. That's all I'm going to say. Very unfortunately. But I thought she might think that was pretty top and might wear it. So I recently went out in April to see Will and Anaya in Washington, and she actually met me out there. I hadn't seen her in over a year. I had that shirt with me as one of the shirts that I wore around, and also I think I showed my Nebula. Maybe I didn't. Oh, that's a whole other story, but maybe I'll bring that on the next episode. That's a whole other. I might have talked about that on the last one that I didn't release. That's another story. That's a cautionary tale, actually. But my, my Nebula that's knit out of Odang DK, which I'm sure I at some point was like squishing and talking about, it ended up being a short sleeve. That particular, I think I am going to make another one long sleeve, because that was, even though it was a slog, it's a beautiful top, and that is just lovely, lovely yarn to have a top out of, and it's nice and cozy. Quite warm, but nice. I had that one as well, and I thought for sure she'd be like, oh yes, because I thought the other rainbow yarn, and I was going to offer to just make one for her, and she was like, actually I'd rather have one like that. And I'm like, oh, you mean one made out of the expensive Odang DK? And she wanted it long sleeve, and I'm like, okay, let me just place that order. I can show you that yarn. It's actually like, I'm a little envious. This is Everything's Copacetic. So if her Nebula is going to be this pretty color, isn't that nice? I'm jealous of this color. Okay. So I have to swatch this for hers. I have a ball already made up. But the good news is, when I got home and I was looking, I wanted to start my second one, which is what I just showed you. I looked at the other 2 balls of yarn and I was like, this isn't rainbow. So I'm very glad, actually, that I didn't offer to make my mom a t-shirt like that, and then I didn't actually have the yarn that I said I did. And the good news is I get a third one, and it's going to be mystery colors. So not going to do that right away because I'm working on a few other things. The next nearly FO, well, actually, let's go to this one. I think I talked about this in January. I think this is the Rollur sweater, and I used Blue Sky Fibers wool stock, and I love it. This one's not done. It's knit entirely. It's steeked. This is my first steek. Look, it's steeked. Ah. It's quite good size, but you know what? It's just gonna be a big, cozy sweater. I'm gonna back this up. I'm gonna do something I really don't want to do, so we're just gonna do it real quick, folks, and that's put this sweater on my body. And the fan, by the way, I'm just gonna turn the light out because the motor's probably trying to run, and the blades have stopped. The blades are not spinning. Anyway, this is seriously gonna be an on and off because I'm not gonna be able to tolerate it. How hot it is. Oh my god. Yeah, this is a cozy one. This is cozy. So, the sheep motif, 3 layers of sheep. See how this guy's kind of hard to see? And this looks like a butt? Yeah, we're gonna do something about that. There's also the white on the sleeves and at the bottom. It's really this row that has the nice defined horns, but then for some reason the pattern made this the same color as this, which everybody says it's like snowy mountaintops. I don't know, whatever, fine. Why are his feet white? I don't know. So my plan for that one, first of all, I still need buttons. That's a whole other story. I have time. I am not wearing this for some time, so this one can wait for me to go. And hopefully the button lady at Wisconsin Sheep and Wool this year, I hope she's there again and hasn't just decided not to come to Wisconsin this year because I need some buttons. And it turns out buttons aren't just something that's real easy to find. Like, I mean, even if you go to a fabric store, there's a lot of buttons, but nothing's right. So I gotta find buttons. I still have to finish reinforcing the steek. I'm doing that with like a felting needle. And then I have, it's put away because I organized. I'm gonna grab it. Y'all, I wanted an excuse to buy one of these bouquets. It's like a bouquet of minis. This is all of the colors of wool stock. And they come in like this multi. There's a bunch of different bundles that are like fall colors and sort of like Christmassy colors and like blues, and this is the kind of thing that gets me. What can I do with all of these minis? I do have a whole bin now that's just minis. I do have a problem with collecting minis. I'm not gonna go pull out the 2 from that are like the bigger minis. These are micro minis from Fiber MacGyver that I got in New York at Rhinebeck a couple of years ago. But I have these bouquets of minis. Take my money, please. But I was like, ooh, I can get a mini, so that justifies getting a mini. And then I'm going to use some of the different colors to make like little sprigs of grass. I'm gonna do like duplicate stitch grass, maybe some flowers. Definitely all those brown rams are gonna get probably black feet or maybe gray feet. Maybe not everybody has the same. There's also some gray. So they'll pop out more. Because this is there's parts of this that are pretty low contrast, but this was the one that I used. I had this yarn in my stash. Now, when I bought it, it was an impulse buy because I've been wanting to use wool stock. I was going to make a Lincoln Newman sweater with it. And then this knit-along popped up, and I decided to do it. And I'm glad I did. It's really cute. So I'm just going to use this along the way to do some embellishments and make at least some of the sheep here and there pop out. Some of the white sheep, I'm going to duplicate stitch a black face or a dark brown face or a gray face with this stuff. So that is it's a garment already. I could wear it physically and be warm, but it's not done. It still needs finishing touches. But since I don't even want that on my lap right now, and I don't have buttons, and I don't know what kind of buttons I want to do. Like, I need inspiration from the button lady. I need her, like, vast collection of buttons to be like, yes. Now I have another cardigan that I'm like 90-ish % finished with that I'll show you. I think that was a whole other thing that I went through that I haven't been able to talk about because I haven't done any of this, but I'll get to that next. That one's almost done, except I need to do it is the DRK, no, which one is this? This is DRK Everyday Cardi, okay, right? What am I doing on this? I am working on the, yes, this I have yet to do the buttonhole band, button band. This was I really liked this. And you're not gonna be able to tell, except maybe real quick I'll turn on the ring light. What's going on with this ring light? Oh, here we go. If I turn on the ring light, this is Harrisville Nightshades. And yes, you can see that purple. It's super subtle compared to some of the Nightshades colorways. Like the green is really prominent. If I'm knitting in the car on a bright sunny day and the sun is shining down in through the windshield, man, this thing lights up purple like a Christmas tree. Like a purple Christmas tree. I really enjoyed this yarn. I love this folded collar that kind of I think is gonna semi-stand up. Yeah, and of course I did like the tubular bind off, tubular cast on, so the ends or the hems and stuff look really polished and finished really nicely. I love the raglan that goes all the way down the side of the, you can almost see the purple like that, even in that light. I want to find some buttons that are about like that big that are like black with a little bit of a purple cast to them, or maybe just, you know, a dark purple. I want it to reflect the situation in the yarn. I have a very specific appearance. I have the button in my head. Does it exist? I don't know. Probably not. And I'll just have to do, if she doesn't have buttons like I have in my head, we're gonna have to do something else. I don't know what that is. So again, since I don't have the buttons yet, I'm not sort of hell-bent to get this button band done because I've been working on stuff that isn't super woolly and thick and heavy and warm, but I think that's gonna be a very well-worn sweater when it's done because it's nice. I love it, and I love the Harrisville Nightshades, and I want to work with the daylights at some point. But, I mean, I used this. This is Nightshades, and I liked it. And it's hard to see the blue. I think it's the blue. I don't know. Anyway, it's super subtle. All right, what's next? Oh, one thing that I've been working on, it's a gift knit for Will's girlfriend's dad and stepmom's wedding that was in January. I know I talked about that because this is the blankety bundle from Utopia. Now, I had a hard time finding a blanket pattern that was not a baby blanket and also just wasn't boring. And I found this pattern. It's sort of a shittily written pattern. I said shittily, yes I did. But the slip stitch pattern within it is cool, but as it turned out, it was more of like a square-ish blanket. Now, I intended for this to be something that as a couple, Gerald and Sarah, could throw over both of their laps in the winter to be cozy while they're maybe watching a movie or something on the couch. I would be fighting this to get my feet and legs underneath it, just me, the way that the pattern's written. So I was a little disappointed, and I thought maybe I could figure out how to make it maybe sort of parallelogram, and clearly that wasn't working. So I have a plan now. It is going to be kind of like so it's going to be sort of like, what is that? Some kind of rhombus. I don't know. It's been a long time since I took geometry, but not really square, like a rectangle with points on either end. Whatever that is. Anyway, and I have a cool idea for what I'm going to do with the striping in the middle of that. So it's going to be a little while because I have quite a bit of the yarn left, but this is kind of what's happening with it. And I don't hate it. I'm kind of excited about it. Except I'm hoping that this little situation blocks out. We're going to aggressively block that sucker so that it's actually fun. I hope you guys can hear. Like, this fan is absolutely necessary, especially showing you these heavy woolen projects. Whoopsie. But I realize it's probably loud. And I'm trying not to trail off with my voice. Trying to speak loudly and consistently. Turns out this giant redesign bag that I got could be bigger. There's the next bigger one, but it's floppy. This was one of those, I purchased this at the Madison Knitter's Guild Winter Retreat. Yeah, I think I did one of these after that, but maybe the last one was right before that. I can't remember. The last one that I posted. Watch me struggle with the bag for 10 minutes. There's a lot of project in here. Just wanna. Anyway, my friend Stephanie from Sugar River Yarns. Can't get it totally zipped. That's good enough for me. She is probably, well, she is my biggest. She's my only, except one thing I ordered directly from Stephen West, so it says West Knits on it. But she is my enabler. I've showed you how many redesigned bags I've collected. I get them all from her. This one she had, I didn't even like the color of it, but I had to have the size of it because I love that style. And she had a discount for the people that weekend at the event. So it's good until the blanket gets to be a certain size, and then you have to move that out there. Okay. In September, we're going to be graced with the presence of the designer Jennifer Berg. I'm very excited about that. I had heard of her. I'd heard of her designs. I wasn't super familiar with this is Jennifer Berg, and this is the design we're talking about. If you have not heard of her, she is I think most of a lot of what she does is color work. She's Navajo, which makes her very cool, and I'm excited to meet her. But a lot of her motifs are very Native American. They're beautiful. So we're doing a knit along right now, and people are making either the sheep camp sweater, the Stargate, the Eye Dazzler sweater, or there's a cowl and a hat, and I feel like there's another non-sweater small project, maybe a couple different cowls and a hat or something, for people who want to do color work and want to participate and do something of one of her designs but aren't up for a sweater. So I picked the sheep camp, and I had heard about this when I was doing the Rollur sweater with the sheep on it. My friend Sarah, who does most of those knit-alongs and the sweater workshops, said, oh, this is what's happening, and I was like, oh, cool. And I thought, I'm gonna spin for the yoke yarn, and I pictured sort of a sunset, had a baby with Southwest sort of and I'm not a Southwest colors person necessarily, But you know, sometimes those color groupings are really, really beautiful. So I was kind of going with, excuse me, that kind of a thing. I ordered some. I think it was from Wee Chickadee. I ordered someplace. It was either there or one of the other fiber dyers. I forget which one I got it. The colorway that I was going to spin with. Blah, blah, blah. I got it and I was like, okay. It was really a little more of a rainbow in real life than I intended for it to be. I didn't really want it to be a rainbow necessarily. I have a lot of Three Rivers subscriptions came during the two time periods that I was subscribed to them. Like I'm going, this is different from last month and the month before that and the month before that. How? Like they have beautiful, beautiful, beautiful fiber, but their subscriptions I feel like tend to be very, very, very similar and like rainbow heavy. I have a crap load of that in my cabinet or in my closet in the bins of fiber. So I was like, well, it's beautiful and it is different from what I have because it was kind of darker colors too, but I was like, this is not quite it, but I guess this is gonna do. And then I went to YarnCon in Chicago earlier in the spring, and Apothecary was there. I love her, and I hadn't seen her since the Daedalus fly-in. I don't typically see her around, like sheep and wool, Wisconsin sheep and wool, that kind of thing. I think just her region is probably different. I would love to see her show up at Wisconsin sheep and wool. Holy mother, because her stuff is awesome, and her colorways are just luscious. And she had one that I was like, there it is right there. And also I wanted that, and I could do this with these. I don't know what, but I just dropped a load at YarnCon at Apothecary. That was kind of my plan because I knew she was going to be there, but I kind of went overboard. Can you imagine that? Me going overboard buying fiber or yarn at a festival or a shop or online. It's just true. I can't even believe that. So anyway, after all of that, now I have plenty of fiber that I could use for this knit-along. It got to be like end of May, early June, and I'm starting to see things on social media about the Cal starting like the following week, and I was like, oh crap, well I guess I'm not spinning. Well, I probably showed this yarn, I don't know, it's been hanging on my door handle over here for a while. I have one skein that I had spun up. I think it was one of the ones from, I think I spun it last year during Tour de Fleece. I think I did, actually. And I believe, because I didn't keep the information, bad me. I think it was some from Three Rivers. Three Waters? I do that all the time. Three Rivers Farm. It's been sitting here and I've been like, is that a DK? What does that weight? I'm not sure. One day I'll figure out what to do with this one hank of yarn that I spun. In my angry uterus bag from the Fat Squirrel. I mean, we're pretty close, kids, to what I was going for, and I had it all along. Could you focus? Could you focus? Could you? There you, good job. So I took this to the first meetup when I think we were all I think the meetup was sort of like, a lot of people didn't have their yarn colors yet. They weren't sure. Some people did. This was about 3 weeks ago or so. And I pulled out, and I hadn't even caked it yet. When I caked it up, I was like, where did this yarn come from? It's so pretty. And my friend Sarah says, I know exactly the yarn, excuse me, that you should use for this. Now, I'm happy to be knitting with this yarn right now because it's delicious and squishy. But this is the last time I will knit with this Mountain Meadow yarn. If you know, you know. Unfortunately, because it's awesome, but it is a purple, look at that. Frickin' look at that. Are you looking at that? Because, ooh, I spun that. So pretty. This is exactly what I wanted to do. It does look a little, I mean, it kind of, I don't even think it really reads rainbow. I mean, yes, but no. Like, it's kind of doing exactly what I thought I wanted to spin for this project, but I already did. So I'm very happy that I'm still using hand spun. I'm using that skein that's been hanging here for forever, and I know what I was going to do with the one skein. I'm going to have lots. I might even be able to do, like, the cowl. I don't know. So I'm almost through the colorwork part, and then I can split for sleeves and just knit with the one-time Mountain Meadow wool. It really is beautiful yarn, but apparently your politics suck, so I said what I said. Anyway, moving on. In my blue-footed booty bag by the Fat Squirrel, this, I'm gonna try to remember that when I publish this, I will put in the show notes the designer and the name of this pattern, because I can't remember it and I'm looking at the phone where it is stored. This is Confluence Cotton by the Farmer's Daughter Fibers. I have 2 sweater quantity projects in there that I've purchased in the last, one in the last year, one before we moved, so it's been more than a year sitting there. One is for it's the tee from Farmer's. It was on Farmer's Daughter Fibers last year. It has a collar. It's kind of like, I'll put it in the thing. And also, it's an Andrea Mowry, and I just looked at the name of it. It's not Hey Sailor, but it was around that time. I'll put it down below. But this is the first time I've actually worked with Confluence cotton, and I love it. And this construction was a little bit of a what the hell is going on right now when I first started knitting it, and I just was like, trust the process, just trust the process. And once I realized what it was that I was doing, I was like, hell yeah, this is a fun construction. So, because it's kind of, I think it even says in the pattern that it's knitting around. It's not until like the step I'm on right now. It was all flat. But it's cool. And it makes it more of a scoop neck than just a round neck. It's like a deeper neck. And there is a little bit of a rib neckline. I'll pick that up in a rib. Knit in a rib. Here I go trailing off again, and the fan is probably keeping you from hearing me. Yeah, so there's gonna be a neckline, a ribbed neckline. And then there will be sleeves also. But this one's knitting together pretty quickly. And this is not the last time that I'll be knitting with Confluence cotton. Well, I mean, because I have 2 projects in there of Confluence cotton, so those are probably going to jump the line a little bit, because I like it. And, yeah, I'm excited for this tee. So, it'll probably be done in a couple weeks. So I'll be showing off an FO the next time. Is that it? I thought there was one more thing. Evidently, that's all I'm going to show you right now. Yeah, that's pretty much what I have actively going. And the blanket I just kind of revved back up again this week. And, there's always a sock project in a bag somewhere that I can walk and knit with or whatever. But, yeah, I've been finishing some stuff up. I've been pretty happy with how much I've gotten done in terms of sweaters since January. I mean, I did the whole Rollur sweater, did the whole Everyday Cardi sweater. I did this tee, and it's already been worn in the wild. I'm cranking on the Jennifer Berg, and I'm cranking on the little green tea. So, green tea. And so I need to get my mom's at least started, so when she's here in a couple weeks, I can say, look, I have it started. But my recollection of my Nebula sweater was that from the hem, which is a split hem, to even where because it's bottom up, to where you start, where you can like get into the sleeves and stuff was like, felt like it took 3 years. I ended up, why? Here we go again. It's been 50 minutes and 4 seconds since I had tea on. Yeah, it just seems like it was a slog, but it is a beautiful color, so I think I can put up with a slog with this beautiful blue for a little while. Yeah, like there's a whole bunch of stuff that I've decided to get yarn for projects that have popped up between the last podcast and now that we won't talk about because but before I go, the next new thing coming down the pike for me, it's not musical theater, that was already happening, and we didn't even talk about something rotten that happened, and that whole thing was a blast. One of the things I've been busy with since February. It was something rotten though, and helping with set painting that got me, it sort of like excavated my lifelong desire to paint. My grandmother, my dad's mom, was an oil painter. I have a couple of her pieces. I did not get any of the like super spectacular pieces. They all went to her 7 children and probably a couple of the grandchildren that got there first. But I have a couple of her pieces that are just, I'm proud of them because they were my grandma's pieces. Floral stuff, floral still life, downstairs in our bathroom. But I thought several years ago that maybe I would kind of like do the Bob Ross thing and try to oil paint. I decided oil paint stuff it's pretty pricey and there's a lot to it, and you kind of have to, it's just a different animal. I used to paint in high school. I do acrylic and stuff, and I was kind of into that for a bit when I was in high school, but not like acrylic painting. It was like painting things with acrylic paint. But watercolor has always been something that I really love and appreciate, and it's always been kind of a mystery to me. So that's what I decided when I was painting some flowers on one of the sets. I was like, it just sort of like awakened my desire to paint. And so, you know me, I've been collecting supplies for the last 3 months. And once I got back from Disney trip, which was immediately after we closed Something Rotten, I've just been like rapid fire collecting watercolor paint supplies, books, paper, all the things, like a freaking fiend. But I have also been doing some practicing. I really like it. It's really exciting. I feel like my brain has been buzzing, which is good because my brain's been doing a lot of other things recently that has not been super fun, and that's one reason why I haven't been doing a lot of this for a little bit. But yeah, I haven't felt this like creatively and mentally tingly in a really, really long time, and it's not the same. This is still my ride or die. This is still my very favorite thing, and it always will be. But I'm very, very excited about watercolor, and I've been learning a lot and reading a lot and watching a lot. And I start my first watercolor class at Madison College tomorrow. It's just, I think, for like 6 weeks. It's a summer class. I am also taking a drawing class because I realized that I used to draw a lot when I was younger, when I was a kid, particularly. So I think I have some natural talent for that. I'm not the kind of person who can just sit down and draw something that's really, really good. I can draw something that I think is good if I sit and put a lot of time and effort into it, and I'm in the mood. So I'm not like my daughter or even my son, who are both excellent artists, and it's just something they've been doing organically since they were little. And Emma has a whole Instagram page. She's amazing. She inspires me all the time. She is a beautiful art journalist, so I'm going to try a different kind of art journaling from what I've tried to do in the past. I just need to give up the idea of being a bullet journaler, and because it's not going to happen. But I think in terms of keeping a journal where I'm just like, maybe painting things on vacations or something that represent there are different ways of journaling that aren't like making lists and tracking moods and stuff, but more like pictorially what I've done. So I'll talk about a little bit an idea that's happening in January another time because we're coming up on an hour. But yeah, kind of going down that road, and I'm excited. So I will be taking a drawing class on Monday nights and a painting class on Tuesday nights for the summer. We'll see where that goes and what I want to do in the fall in terms of classes in the evenings. And then I am ready to go with my other thing that I've been wanting to do for years and years. I've been saying for years and years I've wanted to learn to sew. And that goal used to be for costuming, like for cosplay, Ren Fair, that kind of thing. Sure, down the road could be, but I also just want to make garments, like clothes to wear. Very inspired by people like Andrea Mowry and all of her little clan, you know, the Spin Cycle girls and Rachel from Farmer's Daughter Fibers. I like their style in general. I like the garments that they all seem to collectively make. And I want to do it. And if I can get good at it and then I can actually be helpful working in our community theater sphere. Cool. I bought a serger on sale. It's downstairs in a box still. I haven't opened it yet to look at it. But that's why I want to kind of repurpose some space in here, get rid of some stuff that I don't need anymore so I can make room for more of a table that will work in here when the Murphy bed is out, which is 5% of the time. But when it's out, I don't want to have to do a lot of shifting, but I kind of want to reconfigure some space in here. And that's one reason why I wanted to just really get the spreading of the yarn under control. So yeah, that's a little bit of a nutshell of what's been happening with me and with knitting lately and projects. Here's a cool thing. We can post pictures on Instagram now. So if you're a subscriber to this and you haven't followed on Instagram, it's Stashdown PC. That's where I post my FOs and stuff. I think I'm gonna put another something other, or like maybe here's a picture of, I think maybe I'll repost something or some progress on my Jennifer Berg sweater and invite everybody to post what they're working on, because I'm excited that you can actually repost pictures. It's about time. So I'm getting 10% battery warnings on my phone, so I need to stop talking, and I don't think I have any reason to worry about editing. I can just listen back and get this one out and see you all really super soon. And get out there, get your fiber on, get your watercolor on, get your sewing on, whatever you're doing. Just, it's a good time to do it. Stay in the AC and do some crafting. Got a long weekend coming up. Good time to do something creative. Bye.